Well, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. And I ain't no bullshit. The reason why I believe they made an example of me with my court situation and my sex offender bullshit was because it was just that. It was bullshit. Like, you don't give over all the evidence of a relationship and be like, it wasn't me. But it was me. Perjury, and it's not good, but the fact of the matter is, my life wasn't good. At the time, everything was all foobarred. But, I was on the internet with a buddy named Brian Wilson back in the day, and I saw some weird shit happen. And, like, one time, like, some people came over, and it was a young girl, and it was fucking their mom, I believe, and this other young dude and whatnot. Like, said, hey, I'm bi. I'm like, what the fuck's that? Apparently, like, I don't know, Brian Wilson later got caught up in some sex offender shit, too. And he works for the Navy or some shit. Like, I don't know. We're not supposed to have contact with each other anymore because of that. At least it was back then. Sex offenders couldn't talk to each other. And, anyway, so I saw that shit go down. Like, I didn't know that happened to him. His mom, like, made contact with me, and I talked to him or whatnot. And you're not allowed to do that. So I was like, oh, get the fuck away from me, you crazy person. But the fact of the matter is, he fell up in that same situation of learning sex from, online, I guess, for him. And seeing all the, like, people his dad did when his mom was, because they were separated. And I guess he got the wrong idea of women or something, I don't know. And then after that, let's see here. Fast forward to my annex, I didn't have sex till I was like, 18, and I was after my quote-unquote molestation from Rusty Abbott, so I was all kinds of fucked up in the game, like, and so I didn't know which way to go. But after I had this sex, I was like, it wasn't really that, whatever. So wasn't really interested in it, because I was like Christian. I was like, I gotta wait till marriage, but it was fun. And then that low point in my life where I lost my job for the marijuana and I was like drinking too much. Like, I was watching porn a lot, and I watched the Shane's World thing, and they were like, girls with a wristband or hair ties around their wrist, like they give it up or whatnot. And I was all drunk, and I met this girl, Brittany or whatnot, and then we did play the truth or dare, and she dared me to kiss her, and I was like, all right, and then I was like, suck my dick, basically, and it happened, but that's where I usually stop the story, because I also used to say she was 15 when she was 13, and that's because of, the fear of, like, I wasn't attracted to a young girl. It just happened to be, a girl that was young. It was a bit different, than curving out over someone young and actually having feelings for somebody. And that's what happens, I think, when you're, first off, I was introduced to porn by somebody. We used to go to the mountain dunes and ride bikes or whatnot. And this dude, showed us a cartoon porn. I still remember it was like these chicks fucking these mushrooms or something. And then later on, like, my buddy Ronnie was like, hey, what's that stuff, those white stuff that's coming out the mushrooms? I was like, milk? I didn't know. I was fucking young as shit. But there was a girl named Heidi, I think her name was. And, like, that was some shit. Like, how are you going to be showing kids, like, cartoons and then, like they're young? I was young. What the fuck? And so learning sex education from pornography is a bad idea, because I was led to believe while I was drunk, hey, that person's got a fucking wristband or a hair tie, like, she's down. That was not, like, true life. That's not how things work. I mean, it may be, but a little bit too advanced for somebody. Because I was sexually stunted with my mom saying, touch your dick, go to hell. Like, I couldn't look in the mirror for like 2 seconds without just saying I was narcissistic. So I was like, I had a horrible body image. No way to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't, like, to this day, they wouldn't deny that when I went up there, I was like, hey, this guy's messing with me, I don't like it. They're like, well, what could we do about it? And I was like, well, you could have told the police, because that's what Brittany and Mama did. You know what I mean? And the thing I withhold the truth is because I used to be like, she was 15, because the statute of limitations, Carl was 15, 13, and whatnot, but she was 13. And I was like, what, like 19, 20, something like that. But all that came to play because like my next piece of vagina or whatnot came from like what I thought was a 15-year-old girl named Ashley, and her parents were cool with it because they knew me and everything was cool. But that was kind of odd too, because she was known with her girl Chef and whatnot to be kicked out of school for making a sex tape, and she was on the internet. So I was like, so you learned some sex from the internet? This internet's idea for sex it might be a bad idea, but that was a good relationship, give or take. So, my friends told me she was cheating on me, and I was like, fuck that nigga. Rob, like she did it to me, she did it to you, and you bail on me, nigga. All right, Blair, whatever, man. You go ahead, whatever. But anywho, so I had a relationship with her, and then after that, I made a video with talking about Alicia. She was a 16, and I was that was just right after Ashley. So it was way before. It was during that situation, and she was cool, and her parents were pretty cool. Everything was alright, for the most part. And then I did that thing with Brittany or whatnot, and I fucked up. I was drunk. I made that wrong call, but I felt a thing in my stomach say, "Hey, ain't nobody ever fucking." They called the police on me, or not called the police on me, but called the police on Rusty, for fucking with me. So I mean, maybe it's not a big deal, and it led to the situation where I gave into that, and that was one of my first convictions. I was like, but it happened more that one time, and that's what kind of fucked me. It was a relationship, and I led that person on just because the sexuals that I believed it was because, at that age, stunted sexual growth is a bad thing, and you don't want to hurt anybody, but at the time, I was in the wrong. That's how it is. And when I was up on the court thing, I was busted out crying because I did not want to be seen as that dude Rusty who force fed me fucking alcohol, and wanted to take advantage of me. Wouldn't let me out of the room unless I photocopy my balls on a copier. He's like, oh, I did it with Ruta. Ruta was a foreign exchange student. So you're saying you get foreign exchange students over here and you talk them into jacking off with you? No wonder they don't want to stay at your house. So, I was crying on the stand because, I don't want to be seen as that dude because my situation wasn't like that, I even offered her, some wild fruit, yeah, that's an offer, and some weed, and she was like, no, I'm good. I was like, well, what makes you want to do this? She's like, oh, my mom's porn or whatnot. And I'm like, oh, damn it, porn again? That's how you got interested in it? So, and her parents not thinking about it, Hell, I don't make connections very easily. I didn't know, I don't know much about anything when it came to that back then. Oh, I learned real hard, that being made an example of is either A, I perjured myself and I fucked myself over, or B, they like to use it to blackmail you and make you feel insecure about, what you're doing. I mean, yeah, dude, I took it like a champ, but the fact of the matter is, how many of my friends have taken champs and got caught in the same situation? I'm sitting here thinking I'm the only one. Worried that you're gonna draw the state lines, and I ain't ever gonna have a place to live. I'm gonna have to go live under a bridge like they did in that Arizona or somewhere Tent City. They had motherfuckers sex offenders where they couldn't even live, anywhere near a school, and it was just the whole sex offender thing is stupid. I don't understand it. I mean, but there was reasons back then. They're Facebook was all oh, we gotta keep the sex offenders from MySpace from coming to Facebook, and then what happened? That's all, I didn't admit on it because I wasn't allowed on it, but, I saw something about a survey about would you allow something. And slippery slope is slippery. They were talking about pedophilia rights and this and that and NAMBLA or this or some shit and the fucking groups, the sex offender group things. And I was like, that don't sound right. Ain't nothing about that sound right to me. So, I don't know. It is what it is, I guess, but I don't purposely. People like to say predator. They like to use nasty names for the good guys. I'm a good guy. You know, I'm pretty sure I got women to back me up, you know, that, hey, I'm a good guy. But the fact of the matter is, like, when you're stunted sexually, because you learn about your body from some other source other than, like, God, you know, being a temple and love, honor, and obey and this and that, like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of wrong. Like, it's objectifying women, it's objectifying everything. Like, it's divisions. And they just use the blackmail into, like, fucking, oh, you're a sex offender, you're never getting hired. You know, you're a felon. Felon sex offender, never getting hired. Like, they went from non-violent to violent for me. Like, I had hope 10 years to get off, and they're like, nah, nigga, just your charge, violent. I'm like, it's not it's retroactive. It's not like, you know, there's no grandfather clause in that. It's like, we say it happens, screw you, buddy. You had a life going on, and then we take your hopes of getting your freedom back. You know, we're like, okay, I know you wanted to get off, and you did good, boy. You know, 15 years of probation, and then what? 3.5 years of 3.5 to 4 years of mental health probation. Like, maximum sure to get off of mental health probation. Like, you know how hard it is to do both of those things and get off like a champ? Very hard. I don't know if it's ever been done, but I don't know. The fact of the matter is, now I got 2 more years of probation thanks to my lying-ass sister. Like, seriously, like, nigga, I'm good at probation. it's like, I don't know, man. I laugh about it now because it's a lot of pain. It kept me from having babies, kept me out of relationships. Like, Elena, I would love to stay with her, but there was rules. Like, I couldn't sleep over at a girl's house that had a baby. You know, and she knew it was a sex offender. She was afraid to tell her baby daddy about the situation, you know? Because her dad turned out, he was a sex offender. I'm like, man, these people be sex offending all up in this motherfucker. Like, well, we still got those blue laws where you can't have the sodomies. I don't know. But, you know, it's a sucky situation to not be able to do, A, what you want to do, but B, within limits. Like, I don't know. Sexuality is a weird thing. And the stuff that was going on in the creek was weird, too. One time I was in the back of this truck after doing some LSA in the woods, and I overheard these dudes talking, and they were like, yo, there's a girl at 16 that's giving it up, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, I don't want none of that, because I was sore up. I was like, and they stopped, and I had to walk my ass back to the trailer park. And I was like, hey, y'all be careful of that shit. Trust me. And, yeah, well, so, I mean, I was concerned that my boy booty was being given to an accountant for, like, sexual favors. And I was like, no, I don't. That's the only thing I could think of. I mean, and I'm still trying to wrestle with that situation. But, you know, full-on confessional. If your heart's led to conviction of telling the truth, which is what it is, you know, I apologize deeply. You know, I talked to Brittany before I got locked up, and she said it wasn't my fault and everything was alright, you know. So since you're not allowed to have contact with your victims, you know, I don't know whatever happened to her. I don't even know her last name, unfortunately. I don't know anybody's real last name because, like, for me, like, people are more than just names. Like, if I got your first name, I'm pretty much good. But, you know, I'm not that kind of learner, you know. I'm just spatial time, I don't know, dyslexia, spatial time dyslexia, I don't know what that is, but facial recognition is not my strong point, I'll tell you that much. Antisocial type, you know, look down at my feet type shit, because, you know, bullies and stuff. Anyway, yeah, this is full-on confessional. In front of the Lord and the internet and everybody, Terry A. Davis style. So, that's the hardest thing I've ever done. Tell the truth to the whole world on the internet. My ass is, you know, free of that guilt, I'm guessing. I don't know. If it helps somebody, it helps, but, you know, don't get fucked over like I did, man. I'm not exactly sure why it happened like it did, but it did. You know, and that's that. I love you. Peace.